Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. My name is Colin. I just want to do a quick disclaimer. We are individual local producers. The work that we do and the opinions that we express are not necessarily those of PAC 14. Now, we have our guest here today, James Wynn. James, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, so my name is James Wynn. I am Wicomico County Councilman at large. I've been in Wicomico County probably since 2004, so 20-some years. I went to Wicomico Middle School, I went to Parkside, went to Warwick for a few years and realized I like working for myself, and I started full-time working in the family business. And in the family business, we own a custom tile business, and I've been doing that my entire life. And I also recently started doing another home renovation company where we buy houses and we sell them or we lease them or whatever we want to do with them. Yeah. So on top of that, I am married and to a lovely wife, and she might be watching this, so I love her anyway. And yeah, so I'm married and I have a full-time job and I'm on the county council. I started that 2022?
2022.
Yeah, 2022 is when I was elected to that seat, and I have learned so much about the county and how our county actually runs that I was originally not 100% aware of, because when you run for office, you have an idea of what it is, but there's no real job description online where you can look up what is this actual job. So
you said since 2004, so that meant that I met you when I was 28, because I've actually known you since you were that kid. So it's it's so unique to see the great leader that you've grown up into. And I remember when you were the kid in the yard and just starting out with Acme. Now you're part owner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're an outdoorsman too, aren't you?
Oh, that's true. That's right. I like to be outside. I like to hunt and I like to fish whenever I have time.
Yeah. Well, I know you're super busy.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking some time to meet with us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
And since you've had, I guess this baptism by fire, that's what I like to call it, and when you learn a lot of stuff at one time, and I know it's very intricate, this county, there's a lot of things going on, but I think a lot of people would like to know, and I'd like to know a little more about what's going on with the status of the Wicomico County landfill.
Yeah.
Can you tell us where that's at? And
so the council was involved with the legislation that was brought to us, because we've had, when we first were elected, we were told we had 20 years with the landfill. And recently we're finding out that it's much shorter than that. I think it's like 3 or 4 years, but we've taken some measures and we've increased the tipping fee. It sounds like we've increased the tipping fee. I think it's $78 a ton now, and the reason for it was because we had to be competitive with our neighboring counties. All the other counties around us were $80 a ton, $81 a ton, $78 a ton, and the issue we were having was, and I'll touch on this right now, is we were getting a lot of out-of-county waste and haulers. We all love our haulers,
it's because it was cheaper in Wicomico County?
Well, 20% cheaper.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
people aren't dumb, so yeah.
Yeah, and there wasn't any legislation, really, no teeth in our laws to kind of prevent that from happening. So just us talking that, I was hearing that we were seeing less haulers coming into our landfill, and then once we created the legislation, there's been a drop. So we're probably going to have to wait 6 months to actually get an accurate number of how much the out-of-county waste has really dropped and how much that will impact us in the future, because the county was originally talking about having to stop accepting trash for like one day during the week.
Yeah.
But and that is not a direction I think anyone wants to go down. And because we can't stop trash.
No.
So we're hoping, I say hoping, I believe that this is going to fix it. I think stopping the out-of-county waste coming in kind of makes it so that everyone has to use the landfill that belongs to the county to where they pick the trash up. So that makes sense.
Well,
Right.
I have a quick question regarding that, actually,
Sure.
real quick. Is because the Wycomico, they charged much less, you said about 20%. So
Yeah.
was the county actually then losing money on a like annual basis because of that? Or
You don't lose anything. You only make it when you put it in the ground.
Mhm.
So, and the reason why people were using our landfill was because it was less money. So if it was higher, we wouldn't have made it because they would have just went to the county of where they
residents.
of the residents. So like when they now that it's higher, we'll see less waste. So the price has gone up. So that might all level out. At the end of the day, we might start to level out on if we were going to lose any dollars because of the legislation.
Well, you and I spoke about this before, that there was something going on at the Fruitland Convenience location, which is where I go, and you didn't know about it, but
Right.
something's happening there because they've cleared a lot of land and there's
Yeah.
a bunch of dirt piled up there. But you did say that's a function of, executive
Yeah,
functions. She would
so-
know more about what's going on the operational level.
Right. So that I'm glad you brought that up because lots of people don't really understand how our form of government works. 20 years ago, probably 15 years ago, whenever the charter changed to have an executive form of government, there was commissioners. Everybody was a commissioner, and so just a disclaimer: I've learned this all like within the past couple years. So it's everybody doesn't know these things. So that's why I'm going to try and help break it down a little bit. So before, there were all commissioners in Wycomico County, just like in Worcester County and Somerset County and a couple of the small counties around us. So since we've changed to an executive form of government, the operational side of our county government has moved underneath the umbrella of the executive. And that executive is elected by the people at large from the whole entire county. And that person has to be the fiduciary of the county's operations and tax dollars and how well they're spent and where they go. And they sign the contracts for all the things that come through the door. So that way it's more of a responsive government instead of having to wait till the next council meeting and having 7 people make up a simple decision. Now we have an elected executive that can be on call, not just on call, but full-time employee. And not just full-time, but like when you're an elected person, you're working in your sleep. Just like a small business owner would be. You're working 24/7.
So those intricate details would be something that she would deal with. In
Yeah,
other words, the
yeah.
fruit and landfill and whatever's going
Right.
on there. Not the landfill,
So-
but they call it the convenience center.
Right.
I got you.
So what the council typically deals with is legislation, and we also deal with tipping fees. So if the county executive form, if the county wanted to raise rates, right, they have to have the blessing of the council and to do so. If they want to lower rates, they have to have the blessing of the council to do so, and the council has to agree on that at large, as a majority. But the council's primary role is legislation. So if we had something that is kind of being talked about a little bit is signage, like signage in right-of-ways. Is that something that we should permit? Because like they fall down, they break down, they become trash on the side of the road, litter, little things like that.
That'll keep you busy.
Yeah, and one thing I'm hearing.
What do you mean,
like road signs? I'm not talking about campaign signs during campaign season.
Right,
I'm talking about just here's a power washing sign, like
okay,
stapled
gotcha.
to the telephone poles, that's just
The nitty-gritty.
that is a topic of conversation.
I mean, don't they currently go around and pick them up once a week or something on the highway? Is that
They're-
the state? That's the state.
that's on maybe on
Okay.
state
State
highway.
highway.
but
They do.
There's
Yeah.
lots of county roads out there. But another thing is like one thing I'm hearing. I was just talking to the executive the other day is chickens. Like
Chickens?
Yeah, like chickens. I don't know all the details yet. Well, I'm going to find out, but like, you know, like in the county where people are allowed to have chickens.
Right.
And I think that's great. I think you should be able to have chickens, but at to what extent? I guess people are having problems with the roosters crowing or chickens tearing up someone else's mulch.
They are loud.
Well, I mean, you know, I used to have chickens, and they
don't just crow in the morning.
They tear up your mulch. You know,
I was about to say good alarm
there
clock,
are
but if they're
issues, you know,
cooing
free
at,
range.
like,
But,
No, they do it.
but anyway, there's issues like that, and I'll tell you another thing that I did as personally. I brought forward. I had a waterman come to me, tell me that, hey, look, in Somerset County, they have what they call the right to work for the watermen.
So Joe Lappin.
Yeah,
Captain Lappin.
Captain Joe Lappin, yeah. And he asked me if this would be something I'd be willing to entertain. This is just another example of legislation, by the way.
Right.
He asked me if we'd be willing to entertain creating some sort of legislation to help protect their right to work, because right now in Wycomico County we have the right to work for farmers. We have
it's the Right to Farm.
It's the Right to Farm Act, yes, and so they wanted something for the right to be a farmer on the water.
Well, let's explain, because most people don't know the Right to Farm. And I'll just say it is. It's just an amendment to a contract for real estate that says there is farmland, working farmland around here, and if it stinks or whatever, you can't sue them. So
that's exactly right. It kind of makes it so that when you move into Wycomico County, you look at this paperwork and you have to sign it, or you don't have to sign it, but like they want you to sign it. That way, you're aware of that this county has the right to work for farmers, and that the county itself backs our farmers. And so essentially we did the same thing for our seafood industry, and we did it at seafood industry at large. So all the commercial seafood and places, like the places that sell crabs, like what's one of the places? Fat
Boys. Yes. I was thinking Fat Boys too.
Yes. Yeah. So
shout out to Clayton.
Yeah, and they're all great businesses, and we want to support all of our businesses. And in doing so, that's why we created this legislation, so that when the county grows, and people want to buy that piece of property out in Nanticoke, and they may not like listening to the waterman's radio, because he's got to keep that thing all the way up to 10 so that he can hear the Coast Guard if there's a call that comes in. He's got to be able to hear it. So they may not like hearing that, or they may not like listening to the watermen in general conducting their business on the water at 5 in the morning. And it's not our fault that that's where they work.
Right.
So that we created that legislation to kind of protect that industry, so that people can't come in and say, we don't want that, let's go to the state, let's make it so that they can't operate anymore. Right. So we've protected that.
Thank you.
At least
really cool.
We've attempted to protect that.
Yeah. Have you been successful with that? I mean,
well, we probably might never get a call. I hope we never get a call. I hope the Farm Act, the Right to Farm Act, never has to be used, really. And it's on an as-needed basis. So
and they have it in all the counties on the shore here.
Right, the Farm Act, yes.
Yeah.
Not seafood ordinance.
Not seafood
ordinance.
Right. It's only Somerset.
So since you've been in office, as far as a councilman, has there been anything collectively? And I know there has been things, like big accomplishment as far as for the whole council. I know that you've been working with Captain Joe, and I actually a lot of times...
Collectively?
You're right, that's what I'm saying. Because I know a lot of times you seem to be the one person that says yes to certain things, and everybody else is going the opposite direction. Has there been something you all been able to work on together?
Honestly, we work well on, I'd say 90%.
90%?
90%. And I know it doesn't seem like that because the controversial things... That's what gets the attention.
Yeah,
right?
Unfortunately.
And I don't mean to be controversial. It's just what I believe.
You do a good job of not being.
Yeah, and I try to. I've learned when I first got elected, I would take it home with me, and I'd be pretty upset. But now I've learned to kind of separate myself from it and vote. And if the vote doesn't go the way I want it to go, you got to get over it and move on, because we're all elected. Right? So each person is elected. They're representing what they believe and what they were elected for, and I can't change it, and I won't change it because they were elected for that position, and I'm not going to try to persuade somebody till I got tears in my eyes to change their mind on something.
Yeah.
So, and it's their right, it's their vote, and everyone's got their right. But as far as what we agree on, we agree on a lot of things. I mean, Democrat, Republican, like this is the county council. This isn't isn't the state of Maryland where we're talking about solar panels and how they've taken away the county's ability to govern.
We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it used to be that solar panels, if you wanted to have solar panels, you'd have to go through the county to get approval for it. Now the state has actually stripped that away. They stripped that away so that the state's going to just mass approve things. And we are required, we're mandated, the state has mandated the counties to have to do 5% solar on their lands, in their county. 5%. That is almost 10,000 acres in our county, and they did not take out for subdivisions or wetlands or parking lots. They didn't take out for that. They did
collectively.
Yes, they did 5% over the 400 square miles of our county, and so that means our prime ag is on the chopping block. So, and it's funny to me that we have a state that is all about preserving, but yet they want to go ahead and put solar panel parking lots on all of our farmland. So I have a serious problem with that. I have a problem with our state coming in and mandating that we have to do 5% of our farmland of solar, and we don't get a say in it at all.
It seems like a
and
total...
it's subsidized. It's all subsidized by our money.
Wow.
It's our money. It's the amount of money that people will make off of this just by putting your farmland in solar is ridiculous. So we have a state that is all about growth. We want to grow the state. You're a realtor. You know they want more housing.
I'm not anymore.
Okay, but they want more housing, but yet they want us to compete. They want the real estate agency. They want the real estate
field.
Yeah, the real estate field and the developers to compete with solar now.
Wow.
Yeah, so solar it makes way more sense for a farmer to put their land in solar because of how much money that they'll bring in from the subsidies.
Yeah.
But here in Wicomico, this is something I learned from the food bank and through food giveaways, like on the west side, they do that. They said like 80% of the products that come in for the food banks comes from Wicomico. So we're covered with solar panels. We're not going to be able to provide the whole.
Are you talking about the ag land?
Right.
So that is our number one economic driver in Wicomico County.
Right.
And practically this whole state, I believe, is. So our number one, we're the number one in the whole state for ag. And this is going to affect us.
Yeah.
Big time.
Like it not just affects the fact that we'll be less ag, but like ag, like yes, it sounds small, right? But it's not small. We employ not just farmers. We employ the chicken people. We employ all the feeding companies, and we employ Purdue. You know, like they've got this could affect them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all of those people that make money off of the ag industry spend money on small businesses
it's a huge part of our economy.
Oh yeah, it's not like we've got manufacturing companies coming out just to set up in Wicomico County.
Yeah.
We've got to work with what we have, and if we're going ahead and going to put state subsidized solar panels in our ag land that we are indirectly paying for through our tax dollars, just makes no sense to me.
It doesn't.
So
the state's
I have a
doing
quick
a lot
question,
of crazy
actually.
things.
Do you know what the response has been from state legislators, people like Barry Beecham and Mary Beth Carosa regarding this overreach or overextension of state power, making that requirement 5%?
So I don't want to speak for any delegates or senators, but I can't for the life of me see that they would support any of that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that a lot of time our Eastern Shore delegation are really fighting with their backs against the wall, and that's red and blue from what I understand. I mean, it seems that a lot of time our voice is not heard as much across that bridge.
Yeah.
And I think actually even on Salisbury's level, I think the mayor is even having to fight against, it seems like Annapolis trying to tell us what to do. Now, but I do want to touch on something as far as your future. I mean, because we are getting close to time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, because you actually represent the district that's near and dear to my heart, District 2. Which,
well, I represent at large right now.
Right. Well, true.
Right.
Will it be? It'll be District 2.
It will, if I run again, and I do plan on running again.
That's my question.
There you go. Everybody who was wondering.
Yeah, well,
Ding.
Yeah. No, I've had a lot of people ask me if I was running again and to please run again. I guess it's refreshing to have somebody that's
I text
my
you at
age
least
to
once
be
a
on
month.
there. Yeah. But yeah, I've been asked to run a few times from multiple people, and you know, I don't know what the makeup of the next council is going to be at all. I have no clue, but I can't, like, it seems to me that a lot of the council may not be on there, and I don't want a new council getting them there and not being able to conduct themselves.
Right.
And that's part of the issue, I think, for me is, and like, it's tough for me because I am, you know, I'm not retired, I'm not a millionaire, I can't, you know, I can't take off work all the time.
Right.
So it's not easy to be able to be on the county council, but it is worth it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, there's a lot of.
We appreciate your efforts.
Yes,
I
we
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
At the long run, I think it'll absolutely be worth it for me, and I think the people that I represent, because I don't know, I just have different opinions.
Yeah, from what I hear, there are a lot of people that are currently on the council that have been there for decades that aren't going to be running again. People like
Allegedly.
Holloway, Jeff Merritt, Joe Cannon, people like that.
John
So
Cannon.
it seems like there are going to be some new faces on the
Right.
board if they run. Speaking of which, actually, I wanted to ask, and touching on your point a couple minutes ago regarding your voting record and how it differs sometimes from other people in the council. I think you were the only, one of the only, or the only person who voted to provide term limits or put it on the ballot for 2026.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you still agree with the idea, with the principle of having term limits
Good question.
in 2026 and after, or have you changed your opinion on that at all with the discussions that have been had?
Sure. Let me touch on that, but I will say that with the council members that are on there now, it is very refreshing to have institutional knowledge, and I you know, we may have our differences, but I will say that it has been a pleasure to work with some of the council members, just to learn from them, and then just to know. Just to learn on things that have happened in the past and how we can make things better now. And now, like I said, we disagree on many things, and that's okay. But it is nice to be able to learn from somebody that's been there and done that. And they always have good advice, whether I like it or not. To touch on, what was your question again before I say it?
In regards to term limits, has your
term limits.
has your view on that changed at all since you initially voted for term limits to be on the 2026 ballot?
So what happened was I had it was never a vote. It was a discussion, and what happened was we talked about question A and how the council wanted it on the on the ballot
-2.
Right, and I brought up the idea is, well, if we do this, we ought to put term limits on there as well. I have no problem with term limits. I think just depending on how many terms, I'm not sure. I think that should be a topic of discussion for another day. But I think term limits could be good. It's good to, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm the only one on the council that feels that way, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's like asking somebody, "Do you want forced retirement?" Seriously, that's what it seems like with with a lot of it. But my concern is,
hold on, like I said though, it has been very nice to have that institutional knowledge on that council. I can't say, you know, like I said, we may not agree on everything, but being able to ask a question or have a phone call and say, what do you remember about this? Or this happened 10 years ago. What do you remember about what happened back then?
Yeah.
How the conversations go on, like, let's just say, how to act in front of certain people on what to say, maybe what not to say. I've had a lot of good discussions with my colleagues, and I think it's been beneficial for me.
Is there one piece of advice that you've learned, would you say, about the way that the county council works that you find particularly helpful or useful, that you found useful in your term on
I would say slow. I think we kind of talked about this a little bit. Yes, if you're going to pass legislation, that don't do it fast. Like, take your time, do it slow, have a public hearing, call your constituents, reach out.
Very important.
Yeah, call to the people that maybe it impacts, and have those conversations. That way, you don't make 150 people show up at the council chambers because you made a bad decision. That is one thing I've learned, that if you're going to do legislation, you do it slow. You take your time, and you do it slow, and you do it thoughtful, and you make sure that it works for at least most people, because you're not going to make everyone happy.
Right.
You're never going to do that.
And I'm not going to try to make everyone happy.
I've noticed over the years, I've actually followed you since you were actually a candidate, came down to the West Side Town Hall.
Right.
I didn't even know who you were, hadn't seen you in like a couple of decades. You walked up to me and said, man, the last time I saw you, you didn't have all that gray hair. And you didn't want to make many public speeches, and now here you are.
Well, I still don't want to make many public speeches.
No, but it shows that you really have grown into leadership. Now, I want to make sure I say leadership and not growing into being a politician, because I do believe in when people are there too long, like over 8 years, they move from leadership to being a politician. And that's one of the reasons why I encourage term limits. But I've seen that you definitely have just gotten better and better. Do you see anything that you think you could do better during your next term than what you've done during your first term?
There's always something I can do better.
Great answer.
I'll let that to my wife to tell me.
Great answer.
What I can do better.
Got better.
Great
that
answer.
was good.
Right?
Even got an applause.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I got right now on that.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for me?
Not that I can think of, no. I think you basically answered everything that I was wondering.
The biggest question I liked the biggest answer I liked today that you gave us was that you're running again.
Yeah, so when is that campaign going to start up?
Well, you don't have to file till February.
Okay.
But the campaign starts today because we know.
Well, you're always working, so I mean, like, I feel like if people know who I am, that you're going to vote for me, you're not going to vote for me.
Right.
So obviously I'm going to
hurt that your last name is Wynn. I think that's a positive.
That does.
Oh, that's
it hurt me in school, though.
Okay, well, now it's time to
say
make
it's
up for
the
it.
last on the list in school.
Oh.
Well, you still are alphabetically listed.
Yeah, you just couldn't win.
How can you
that's
not
true.
win?
The last one gets to win, okay?
Last one's a win.
You were speaking about working,
Yeah.
and I remember my last question that I had is, you've been doing this you've been an elected official since 2022,
Right.
and obviously it's been a lot of work. How have you been able to balance all those different parts of your life, being a business owner, being an elected official,
And a new husband.
being a new husband, and all these things? Have you balanced that?
Not well. It's not easy.
At least he's honest.
I mean,
Gotta love him, though.
well, I mean, I have it's a family business. I've got a great team all around that works with me and works for me. Couldn't do it without the help that I've got. Couldn't do it without the wife that I've got either, because man, I tell you that you got to be.
You gotta marry up.
You've got to. You got to be a good husband first, and then you can be a good politician. I was gonna say politician.
Leader.
A good councilman. So I don't claim to be the best councilman, but I'm gonna try my best.
That's all anybody could
Well,
ask for. I
as
think.
long as you don't, declare yourself to be
Yeah.
great, then you can become great.
I will say, just to pivot a little bit.
Sure.
There was did you all want to talk about West Metro Core at all? That park at all?
Go for it.
So there's the park called West Metro Core. It's not a park. It's farmland on Leavenworth Shield Road out in District 2. And it was going to be funded, it was planning on being funded for a new park. And I didn't believe that people actually really wanted it in that district and in the neighborhood. So
I can tell you they didn't.
I went ahead and had a town hall at the Hebrons Lions Club.
Yeah.
And we went ahead and discussed on. I had 60, 70 people come out.
That's good.
Yeah, and I had there was about 6 or 7 people that lived on Leavenworth Shield Road there, and it seemed to me that most people didn't really want that park there. So we were able to kind of move the needle on maybe not doing that park anymore, and it could save the county $1 million.
How many parks do we need?
We've got a lot of parks. We got a lot of parks.
We have like 65.
Yeah,
lots of nature.
We're like 30 somewhere, don't we?
60,
Anyway.
60.
60.
something.
yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of little parks.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of little tiny parks. We have 2 marinas.
Oh, I know.
Isn't that,
It's
that
in my
crazy?
area. I love that area.
But anyway, getting back to that park, that was just something that I did. Like I had one of the many things that we've done. I just had community outreach with the community to figure out if we actually needed this park or not. So, and I've got the director of Parks and Rec. He's aware of it, and we're trying to behind the scenes. We're working on trying to maneuver things around so that we don't have to build this park anymore, and that we can possibly transfer it to another area.
Right.
Because what happened was, I don't know if I'm talking too much.
No, you're good.
But what happened is 15 years ago, the property was purchased with transfer tax money. It's Project Open Space money. It's money that when you buy a piece of property, you pay transfer taxes, and that goes into a little pot, and that is divvied out among the counties. And so that land was purchased with that money from the state, and the state was telling us we need to do something with this land.
Yep.
And it's either we leave it as farmland, we can't leave it as farmland anymore. I mean, so we had to develop it, but develop it, I mean, as into a park. But the constituents of that area, things had changed over 15 years, and nobody really wanted that park anymore. So
right.
we are working on trying to move that to an area that makes sense for everyone.
Wants that park.
Yeah. So that was the one thing. And then the other thing that I've learned that I'm a part of that really helps me with transportation is the Old Railroad road crossing. So if you're aware of that road crossing, it's by Wright's Market on Route 50, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you're aware of that. There's no light there, no intersection.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
A lot of accidents.
It's dangerous.
It's a very dangerous intersection. And
I agree.
that is one thing. I had another town hall, actually. I had a town hall in Mardella, and we were talking about something completely unrelated. And everybody was coming there talking. They wanted to talk to. I had a state highway there. Oh, that's right. We were talking about. I think. What were we talking about? I don't remember what the whole topic was.
There's a lot
Because it was like 3 years ago.
Sure.
But
Sure.
the conversation steered towards the highway, the